An apology has been issued by Harvey Weinstein in response to the controversy that has arisen as a result of the fact that actor Adrien Brody praised his children during his acceptance speech at the Academy Awards. After it became clear that the problem exists, Weinstein issued a statement in response to the situation. The statement was issued in response to the circumstance. At the 96th Annual Academy Awards, Brody, who is 51 years old, was honored for his role in the film The Brutalist by being given the Academy Award for Best Actor. This occurred in recognition of Brody's outstanding performance. At this very moment, the occurrence that was going place actually occurred. This was the situation that was taking place as Brody took a minute during his address to pay his respects to Georgina Chapman, his long-term companion and the lady who is also Weinstein's ex-wife. The audience's eyebrows were raised. Georgina Chapman is another woman who is married to Weinstein. This conclusion was brought about as a consequence of Brody's words, which gave rise to the eyebrow being raised, adding, "I share this with my amazing partner Georgina, who has not only regenerated my personal feeling of self-worth but also my sense of value and my values, as well as her lovely children, Dash and India." The actor expressed his gratitude by saying, "I express my gratitude to Georgina by saying, I share this with Georgina. Georgina is the one who has not only revitalized him on a personal level, but she is also the person who has rekindled his sense of value and his beliefs." During the conversation, Brody made the following remark: "It's been a roller coaster, but thank you for having me into your lives, and Popsy's coming home a winner." In doing so, he revealed the cherished nickname that Weinstein's children had used for him. Brody came to the conclusion that Popsy is going to be a winner after he has returned home. The fact that the youngsters had a nickname for him was yet another piece of information that Brody disclosed to the audience. This realization was directly responsible for a large rise in the amount of amazement that had been present up until this point. This was brought about as a direct result of the realization. Despite the fact that Weinstein, who is now 72 years old and is currently serving time at Rikers Island as a result of his convictions for sexual assault and rape, has asserted that he did not ignore his children, it is quite clear that he did not ignore them. In the present moment, Weinstein is serving his sentence at Rikers Island. The perspective that Weinstein had regarding the unexpected acknowledgement that he received was communicated by his spokesperson, Judah Engelmayer, through a statement. This comment was provided to the Daily Mail by the company. To add insult to injury, Engelmayer was the one who went ahead and issued the statement. The following is a translation of the statement that Engelmayer published, which can be made available by clicking on the following link. Harvey has expressed his happiness for Georgina and his gratitude that his children are receiving the love and care that they so justly deserve. Harvey is happy for Georgina, Harvey added. Harvey Weinstein, who had previously been one of the most well-known personalities in Hollywood, emerged as a significant participant in the #MeToo movement that was taking place inside the entertainment business in the year 2017. This movement was taking place in the sector of the entertainment industry. Women were inspired to come out against sexual assault and harassment as a result of this community campaign. In 2017, a number of women came forward with allegations of sexual assault against him. Many of these charges were made against him. 2017 was the year that this had taken place. During the trial that took place in the year 2020, he was found guilty of committing rape and sexual assault, and one of the consequences of his conviction was a sentence of imprisonment. On the other hand, the verdict was overturned in April of the previous year, which resulted in the installation of a retrial that is being scheduled to commence on April 15th in the state of New York. According to the plan that has been formed, the retrial is going to take place in the state of New York. Even while this is the case, it does not change the fact that Weinstein is still facing a sentence of 16 years in prison in the state of California for a different rape conviction that occurred in the city of Los Angeles. This conviction was for a distinct incident. An entirely unrelated occurrence that took place in the city formed the basis for this conviction. What Brody said in front of the audience was not even close to being free of controversy in any manner, shape, or form. In fact, it was not even close to being devoid of controversy. The audience, as well as the professionals who were present at the Academy Awards ceremony, were of the opinion that his actions were inappropriate. This was the viewpoint held by a substantial portion of the audience member population. Additionally, These two groups have voiced their disapproval of the activities that he participates in throughout the course of his life. It was very evident that his time on stage had come to an end when the orchestra began playing, which came as a clear indicator. His extensive words continued, but they were cut short when the symphony began to play. His statements were cut short. He maintained his words until the orchestra began playing, at which point he ceased his remarks. The man continued to talk until the symphony started playing, at which point he stopped talking and left the conversation he was having. Immediately after, Brody made the comment that, "This is not my first round of competition." He ordered that the music be stopped. His very first time competing was when he took part in the event. It appeared as though he was unconcerned about the events that were taking place, in addition to the fact that he asked for the music to be turned down entirely. Although there were some people who praised his words and campaigned for a better, happier, and more inclusive world, there were also some people who thought his stubbornness was offensive. This is despite the fact that there were some people who supported his statements. There were a few people on the opposing side of the argument who considered his unyielding drive to be disrespectful. Adrien Brody is so awful and arrogant to imply that he deserves more time on stage than other #Oscars. A fan remarked on Twitter. He should be ashamed of himself. This is the point at which he ought to feel ashamed of himself. Brody is a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which is an organization that deals with motion pictures. Within the context of this particular incident, the rapidity with which users of social media communicated their dissatisfaction with the situation was highlighted. Exactly in this location, this demonstration took place. The following observation was made by an additional critic. "Please God, do not ever again make me go through the anguish of listening to an Adrien Brody award speech. The awards and honors system conducted by the Academy." Another thing that gave fuel to the fires of the issue was the fact that it was one of the incidents that was caught on tape shortly before Brody entered the stage. This was another thing that contributed fuel to the fires of the issue. The issue was fueled in part by this particular factor, which was one of the contributions. After the actor realized that Chapman was still chewing gum, he managed to stealthily get her attention and then proceeded to throw the gum that he had been chewing toward her before continuing with his speech. The chewing of gum continues by Chapman. As Chapman continues to chew gum, the activity continues. There was an increase in the number of critics who were already present as a result of the behavior, which was deemed disgusting by a significant number of viewers on the internet. The fact that Brody was able to emerge victorious in the competition for The Brutalist is yet another noteworthy accomplishment in terms of his professional career. This is the case despite the critics that have been hurled at him. Thanks for watching and subscribing channel.